Hello students, welcome to YouTube channel Vidya for Success.
Dear students, in this video, let us study some of the important terminologies and concepts with respect to sample survey as well as census enumeration. First, let us understand what is the difference between census enumeration and sample survey. So here, as you can notice here, the differences are put forward in terms of tables. Okay. So the first column indicates the census enumeration and the second column indicates the sample survey. So the first difference is in the census enumeration. Enumeration. What is enumeration? Collection of data. Okay. So enumeration of each and every unit of the population is called census enumeration. So this is a definition. So what is census enumeration? How you are going to conduct it? You will be collecting data from each and every unit of the population. You will be having one universe. You will be having one population. So from that population, you will be collecting the data. You will not be leaving any one unit. So that concept, that way of collecting data or enumerating the data is referred as census enumeration. On the other hand, what is sample survey? Enumeration or collection or gathering of few representative units of the population is called sample survey. So in sample survey, we will not be working on the entire universe or the entire population, but we will be working on few units, few representative units of the population, and from those representative units we will be collecting the data. So this is referred as sample survey. So the second difference, so non-sampling errors are likely to be more. So here in census enumeration, we will be working on entire units of the population. So if you are going with this particular approach, there are chances that non-sampling errors are likely to be more. Okay. So on the other hand, in sample survey, sampling errors are more. So what is sampling errors? Yes, from the population you will be considering only few units, representative units. While taking the sample, you may be biased, the investigator may be biased, or else the sample may not be truly representing the entire population. So there are some errors that might arise, so they are referred as sampling errors. Okay. Next difference is under census enumeration, third one, this method is non-scientific. Okay, why it is not scientific? Because on the entire population we are working, we are gathering the information from the entire population, so it is not a scientific one. But on the sample survey, this method is more scientific. We are only selecting few units of the population, they are representing the population, so it is a scientific method. And the fourth difference is this method is impossible if the population is infinite. So whenever the population is infinite, let us say you have been asked to conduct a survey in a particular forest, evergreen forest, let us say. Okay, so in the evergreen forest, let us say the survey is to mark and study all the trees and plants in a particular forest, or evergreen forest, let us say. Okay, is it possible? There are too many big trees, small plants, big plants. The different varieties of plants are there. There are too many. They are infinite in number. Is it possible? No, this method is impossible if the population is infinite. When we don't know what is the number of units within a population, then it is highly impossible. Next, the fourth difference on the sample survey side is this method is more suitable if the population is infinite. If it seems that the population is very vast, it is very infinite one, then we will better to go with sample survey, where we will be choosing few units. On those few selected units we can conduct our survey. Next, the fifth difference is this method requires more money, time and labor. Yes, of course, since there are too many units within the population, you need to reach out to each and every person, every unit. So it takes a lot of time, money and labor. And this another sample survey side, what is the difference? This method is economical. Whenever the population is too huge, it take a lot of time, then it can be minimized. You can reach out to all the units in a representative way by sample survey method, which is also an economical one. And the sixth difference is in destructive cases this method cannot be used. On the other side, sample survey size, in destructive cases this method is only method which can be used. So what is destructive cases? Nothing but, let us say we need to study the quality of crackers. or else we need to study the quality of matchsticks. You cannot study all the units. Let us say there are 1,000 crackers, firecrackers are there. So if you want to study all the quality and what the sound, how they make, the color, what they produce, let us say, you cannot check all the 1,000 firecrackers. If you check all of them, I mean to say, if you light all of them, you are left with nothing. So some of the studies are destructive in nature. Let us say destructive cases. Okay, so in this type of cases, you cannot go for census enumeration. Always better to stick down to sample survey, where you will be choosing only few representative units. Let us say out of 1,000 firecrackers, you will be selecting 5. You will be checking them whether it is good or not. So on those sample what to say conclusion, you can also say that yes, the population is good or not. So these are the main differences between census enumeration and sample survey. Next, another important terminologies that we are going to come across are regarding statistical error. Statistical error is nothing but sampling error. While choosing sample from the population, we will encounter or else we will make some mistakes. So these mistakes are studied here. What are the different types of errors? Okay, so what is statistical error? Statistical error is a difference between the estimated value and the actual value. What does it mean, estimated value and actual value? Let us say before going for the test, or else let us after taking a particular test or exam, we will be having an estimation that for out of 100 I'll be scoring, let us say 92, 95, 90 something like this marks. But after once you get back your answer papers after corrections, actually you'll be knowing what is the score. Your expectation was 98. After evaluation, let us say it was around 80. So there is a difference. This is referred as statistical error, the difference between the estimated value and the actual value. Let us say, let me consider one more example. So you are constructing your dream house. Okay, at the first we will be going with an estimation. What will be the cost, actual cost for my house? Not actual. What is the estimated value for my home? How much you have to incur? All those things. Let us say for your dream house, you are investing around, let us say, 60 lakh rupees. Okay, it was estimation for iron, so and so, for cement, tiles, plumbing, each and everything. Yeah, there is an estimation. But once it is actually executed, well, once the particular blueprint, engineering blueprint is actually executed, later after finishing your construction of your dream home, you will come to know whether you completed the project within the estimated value or else it went above the estimated value. If it go beyond that estimated value, that let us say the construction took around 75 lakh rupees, then there is a difference of 15 lakh rupees. So this is what statistical error is. So what is statistical error? It is a difference between the estimated value and the actual value. What is the reason? What are the causes for errors? So simply it won't creep up. So there are some reasons, some causes. The first one is errors of origin. This may be the reason for statistical error. The second cause may be errors of inadequacy, and the third one is errors of manipulation. Okay, we'll study all of them in detail. The first one is errors of origin. So what do you mean by errors of origin? Origin is nothing but the place from where we have collected the data. Okay, so the error that occurs due to the improper definition of statistical units, defective questionnaire, and wrong method of inquiry is called the error of origin. Okay, so for our statistical study, for investigation, we have collected the data from the units. Okay, fine, we have collected data, but at the time of the collecting data, we have done little mistakes, small mistakes, but maybe they are very costly now. What are those small mistakes? We have not followed a particular standard rule of considering a particular one unit. Let us say while collecting data regarding regarding the blood samples, taking the blood samples from units from multiple individuals, we have not followed the standard. We have to collect your blood samples in 100 ml. Instead, we collected it only in 25 ml. This may be the reason we will not be able to come across the actual facts. Or else defective questionnaire. So at the time of asking questions to the respondents, we have gone with the defective questionnaire. The questionnaire what we have prepared was not effective. Which doesn't give exact answers for our investigations. Or else wrong method of inquiry. We didn't inquire the respondent in the proper way. or we reached out them at a wrong time, at the wrong hour, so which because of which they were unable to answer our queries. So this is nothing but the errors where they are originating. They are originating at the origin, from where we have collected the data, from that place. This error, then that is referred as error of origin. And the second cause is for statistical error is errors of inadequacy. What is inadequacy? The errors that occurs due to incomplete data or insufficient data is called as error of inadequacy. I have told you, while collecting the data from the field, that is primary data, we can follow different methods. Either we can mail the questionnaire, or else we can ask a third party. A lot of other things are there, isn't it? So let us say that we are the respondent is too far, we cannot reach him personally. So what we are doing, we are sending a questionnaire via mail. So for the questionnaire, the respondent may answer, but for some questions he might leave it incomplete because he may not understood the question, or else the data what provided is insufficient. So this will lead to again an error in the final result of our analysis. So what is errors of inadequacy? The error that occurs due to incomplete data. The data is not given completely, or insufficient data is called as error of inadequacy. And the third cause is errors of manipulation. What is manipulation? Conversion. Okay, so how it happens? The error that occurs at the time of analysis. Usually this mistake will be done by clerical staff. Let us say in the questionnaire the respondents have filled all the information. Now this information need to be converted to a digital format. So we are giving all this, let us say there are 10,000 these questionnaires filled by the respondents. We have given them to the clerical staff to put them into the digital format, to feed them to the computer. At the time of feeding these data to the computer, they might miss out few details, or they will make some mistakes, either to the age, or a lot of things will go in. So the errors that occur at the time of analysis is called as error of manipulation, or else after final we'll be getting the final result, but the investigator might come up with wrong analysis. All these things are referred as error of manipulation. So there are three different types of statistical errors, also referred as sampling errors. The causes are, the first one is the three different causes of statistical error. First one is errors because of origin, error of inadequacy, and errors of manipulation. Next, biased and unbiased errors. So what do you mean by biased? Bias is nothing but having certain influence towards an individual. Let us say there are two friends are there, but two friends, among them there is a dispute among themselves regarding money or some other property. So they need to settle it down. So they approach a common friend. Let us say a common friend is very thick with a particular one individual among them both. Okay. Both of them, one that particular umpire, or else the one who is going to settle, arbitrator, you can refer him. If he is very good with one particular individual, he is very thick friend with one individual, then he is having a biased view. So always he is going to help him out. So this will happen here. Biased and unbiased errors, the two type of errors will be there in statistical investigation. Let us go through them. The first one is biased errors. The errors that occur with the notice of the investigator. So investigator is knowing that he is committing an error. In spite of that, he will go ahead. So those type of errors are referred as biased errors. So the errors that occur with the notice of the investigator are called as biased errors. Next one is unbiased errors. The errors that occur without the notice of the investigator, nothing but they are not under the control of the investigator, they are referred as unbiased errors. Okay, so while statistical survey or statistical investigation, there are two types of errors that might creep in. One is biased errors and one is unbiased errors. Biased errors is because of the investigator. Unbiased error is without the control of the investigator, it is beyond his control, not made by the investigator. They are referred as unbiased errors. Next, measurement of errors. How are you going to measure the errors whether it is within the limit or beyond the limit. You have to measure it, no? So what are the different ways of measurement of errors? The absolute measure errors. So what is absolute error? Absolute errors is the arithmetic difference between actual value and estimated value. Very simple. Arithmetic is nothing but difference. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, this is arithmetic. Okay. So how we are going to come up with the absolute error? What is the absolute error that has happened? Very simple. Actual value minus estimated value. That will give you the absolute error. Okay. So the very simple formula. If I want to know what is the absolute error, actual error minus estimated error is referred as absolute error. That can also be given with the notation A dot E, that is absolute error is equal to actual error A small a minus estimated error small e. Next, relative errors. What is relative? Relative is always ratio, okay, percentage wise like that. So what is relative error? Is the ratio of absolute error and the estimated error. Okay, so here how are you putting forward the value of the error? It will be in terms of ratio. So what is relative ratio? Relative error is the ratio of absolute error and the estimate value.